Everybody knows the world ain't right. Down on your knees, get up and fight.
G'day, Rockhound here. QI Software have just published their latest dev vlog for their upcoming zombie survival shooter game, Dead Matter. This is dev vlog 11 from the developers and is the last vlog they'll publish prior to the game's closed alpha, commencing in June. Now, a couple of weeks ago I published a survival shooter comparison video where I compared Dead Matter, DayZ, Scum and Deadside, and in that video I raised some concerns I had about where the development of Dead Matter was at, and specifically how some of the PR for the game had been undertaken. I now have to say that there's no other way to describe devlog 11 other than to say it is, without doubt,
juicy and delicious.
In fact, I'd go as far as saying that if devlog 11 is a legitimate indication of what we can expect from the Dead Matter closed alpha, then we are in for an absolute treat from this game as it develops over the remainder of 2020 and heading into early access release in early 2021. It's by no means perfect, however, and in this video I want to take an in-depth look at some of the details in the vlog that you might have missed, as well as give my thoughts on what was presented, and I'll point out a few issues that can be seen, as well as some general areas for improvement. However, overall, I think devlog 11 shows us that Dead Matter is at a great starting point for the closed alpha. So let's dive into it. The vlog opens with a background image of an entrance to a bunker. These bunkers will appear in a variety of different locations on each server and are procedurally generated. That means they'll provide different underground complexes on each server, so you could easily get lost in them. Something else to be wary of with these is that zombies will spawn in them, so you should follow Dead Matter's catchphrase and plan accordingly. In this next shot, we get a good view of some of the southern Alberta landscape, but most important is actually what's not seen here, and that's fog, which will be quite a relief for those that have been following the game so far, some of whom had concerns that the persistent fog that was being shown in several recent devlogs and Dead Matter gameplay sessions was being used to try and improve the game's performance by effectively decreasing the level of detail. Instead, we see a light environmental haze, which I think looks awesome. Don't get me wrong about fog though, I'll be happy when we do see it in game, but we really just needed to see some variations of the weather condition in what's currently being presented to us. This should allay any concerns about why the fog was shown so often, and the devs have done just that, which is great. Now, there do appear to be a few frame drops in the gameplay footage from time to time, and I'll also point out some other issues later on. But again, we have to remember that this is pre-alpha gameplay that we're seeing, and it's never going to be buttery smooth in the devlog anyway, because it was uploaded to YouTube at 30 frames per second. So the proof of where things are at will only really come when we get into the closed alpha. One of the things I think needs improving is zombie movement. In this short clip, we see zombies running towards the players, but they really just kind of look like normal players, except they're grey and bald. I'd like to see zombies running with limps and partially disabled arms, anything to give them much more of a repulsive look, and not just look like some ordinary looking NPC going for a run. I hope that's something that the devs can work on throughout the closed alpha. Here we see a large number of dead zombies, reaffirming just how prolific they'll be in the game. There's also one here in a partly downed state that is turned into a crawler. Now they'll do this when you take their legs out but don't kill them completely. Now I have no doubt that the zombies in Dead Matter are going to be a force to be reckoned with, but at this stage they just need the look and movement to go with it. In this scene we have rain, and I think the raindrops here still need a little work, as they're really too bright, especially when they're not in the sun. It really makes it look more like sleet. Now I'm expecting many things like this will be improved throughout the closed alpha before early access starts in 2021. In this shot we see a really slick reload animation for an over and under shotgun. And there's actually some really awesome weapon animations starting to appear for the game, and I'm hoping that these continue. Here we get a good view of Canmore from the air, which will be the principal built-up area for the closed alpha. It will start with a map area of 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers, and then eventually expand to a 16 kilometer by 16 kilometer area. Note the continuous cliff face that runs along here. This is likely to be an initial play area boundary, which will probably be moved over time, allowing us to explore the mountains more. Canmore appears to have a very good mixture of clusters of buildings and trees to provide cover, and that's a fair reflection of what Canmore actually looks like in real life, as you can see here. In this brief shot, we see a railway line. Now, trains will eventually be added to the game, but this might not happen until sometime after early access starts, as the devs say they aren't really a priority at this stage. Here we see a couple of satellite dishes on these houses. Now, these are going to be able to be used as a simple way to orient yourself, as the dishes always point due south. At the start of this shot of a NERA camp, NERA standing for National Emergency Reaction Agency, we see a mobile light unit that you'll be able to tow behind a vehicle and use to light up your own area. The devs have said they're keen to have a number of towables, which is an excellent vehicle feature to add to the game. We then see a front-end loader, and while these won't be drivable in the closed alpha, drivable larger vehicles like this are planned for down the track, which could make for some entertaining gameplay. This is an aerial view of a walled NERA camp, and the houses in here probably won't be claimable as bases, so you'll just have to take that into account when you are looking for a place to set up camp. We then see a character going through some revised vaulting mechanics, which for a closed alpha level of gameplay actually looks pretty damn smooth. The over and under shotgun is seen here again, and this was actually shown previously by the devs, but it has been revised since then. Now, expect civilian weaponry like this to be the predominant type that you find in the game. After all, Dead Matter is mostly set in civilian areas. For this shotgun, you'll be able to saw the barrel off and turn it into a mean-as close-quarters weapon. An 1887 lever-action shotgun is also added, bringing the total shotguns in the game to 4. Apparently, the devs are also working on a lever-action rifle. I have to say that the foliage in the forest here looks really great. I'm really pleased to see that it's a good mixture of quite dense areas and open forest as well, providing plenty of opportunity for different playing styles and encounters. We then got some minor updates on the M14, Mosin Nagant, and the Czech-made VZ58, which looks a bit like an AK but shares no other commonality with that apart from the looks. We also see a classic revolver and a Tech 9, which is a semi-automatic weapon that will fit into a pistol slot in the game. Okay, here's something that I think looks excellent, and that's the vehicle inventory system. It's a 3D system that you see in-game and allows you to choose exactly how you place loot into a vehicle. You can also rotate items to fit as well. Now, as a side note, if you're carrying an object to your vehicle, like a gas bottle that requires 2 hands, you will be able to use objects like that to shove back zombies if they inconveniently attack you while you're just trying to do your best to get your backyard barbie going. We also see here that if you have a plastic bucket and a shovel, you'll be able to create a stash that you can bury some loot in. That's a pretty standard feature in Scum, for instance. In the inventory system here, you can also see that you can stow a knife in your boots. Now, that had been mentioned by the devs in the past, and it's nice to see it implemented. They also demonstrated an intuitive crafting system in the devlog, where you simply place the required objects together in your inventory, in this case a baseball bat, nails and a hammer, and then you are prompted to craft a baseball bat with nails sticking out of it. Now, I'm a huge fan of the playability of this because it means you don't have to spend forever trying to figure out how to craft. You just get the required pieces and away you go. This is an excellent demonstration of Dead Matter's devs showing that they know how not to let realism stand in the way of enjoyable gameplay. Big ups for that one from me. We then see the lock-picking minigame which had been teased before. as well as the new vehicle hot wiring minigame. Now it looks like the way this will work is that you need to cross the wires frequently enough to move the current meter up into this range. You then need to continue keeping it steady in that range so that the vehicle's starter motor will turn the engine over for long enough to start the car. And you have to do that without letting the battery go flat by having too many goes, and without allowing the current to go too high, which will set the car alarm off. And that would be bad because the alarm will attract a bunch of inquisitive little zombies to your location. Now I hope that they vary this game a bit randomly from vehicle to vehicle so that it doesn't just become a simple routine that you can learn. There's a short demonstration of the tree chopping system here, which is pretty basic at this stage, but really adequate for the closed alpha, I think. We then see the character's health and metabolic system. There's lots of detail here, probably not as much detail as we see in the same system with the likes of Scum, for instance, but we do see subsystems here like nutrient absorption, and I imagine that that can vary, so for instance if you get sick it might drop. Blood type is also shown here as a question mark because you'll need a kit to find out your blood type. So don't go giving or getting a blood transfusion from someone without knowing both blood types, or if you're the person receiving the blood, you're likely to be in deep trouble. Bandages can be applied to specific body parts with a drag and drop process, which looks like it draws on inspiration from Escape from Tarkov. Absolutely no complaints about that. We get a brief glimpse of the skills that you can acquire in-game, which are cooking, crafting, farming, lockpicking, mechanic abilities, and medical. Possibly the best name for a soda here ever. Throughout the vlog, we see how aggressive the zombies are with their persistent attacks, and a gore system that is currently a work in progress. But again, I think the running needs to be more zombie-like than NPC-like. I'm also really pleased to see that the devs are being realistic about where the game is at leading into the closed alpha, with this intercontinental ballistic zombie being left in the vlog. So expect a few hilarious random glitches like this in the alpha. Similarly, we see some weird ghosting of the vehicle's tyres here, which the devs have mentioned in the Dead Matter Discord that they are aware of and will fix. Thankfully, free look has been added to the game, which is really a must-have for any survival shooter. Got to keep an eye out on your surroundings. Players will have visible nameplates when they're on your team, which fade away as you move away from the player. The ones that you see here are temporary placeholders, so expect these to improve significantly over time. There's also a new main menu for the game that's been designed, and you can see that single player has made it into the game in time for the closed alpha. But the devs say that you should expect the single player game to give your PC a more significant workout than the multiplayer will. Note the reinforced door on the left here, with reinforcement being one of the key components of establishing a safe base. At the end of the vlog, they showed some gameplay footage, and during this I noticed two things. Firstly, there are some frame drops, and then when this player drops his weapon, we see some sort of weird reprojection of the weapon here that leaves a ghosted trail across the screen. Now this might be an issue with anti-aliasing that needs resolving, but whatever it is, it definitely needs addressing soon. Lastly, coming from New Zealand, which perhaps has more traffic cones per capita than any other country in the world, I have to admit that I'm pleasantly surprised to see the availability of this stylish yet highly practical hat being incorporated into the game by the devs. The real question is, though, who will be the first to put one of these on top of the Canmore police station? So that wraps up my detailed look at Dead Matter Devlog 11. Again, hats off to the devs for really stepping the quality of the footage up and giving us something other than fog to look forward to. I'm now very excited for what the closed alpha will bring in June. Now, if you're interested in backing the game and joining the closed alpha, I suggest you check out the link to the QI Software website store in the video description below. There are game packs starting from US $35 with a wide variety of add-ons available, such as having a picture of your pet put somewhere in the game, or having zombies wear an ice hockey jersey with your name on it. Both of those options I've gone for as a fun way to support the devs. If you found this video helpful, please consider leaving a like or a dislike if you didn't. It all helps. And if you'd like to get the latest Dead Matter news, please consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell if you do. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Kia kaha. Stay strong.
Everybody sees, stop and bright, last one to leave, turn out the light, last one to leave.